What's up, cool kids? FD White. So, welcome back to the channel. We want to talk about Caspa today. This is something that my community has been asking me to make a video about. I'm not really too deep into the Caspa fundamentals. I know a lot of people are very bullish on the fundamentals. Right now, Caspa's price is struggling. I did look at the chart, and we are below key levels that we really need to reclaim in order to get some sort of a push for the rest of this run, if the rest of the run even exists in crypto. So we're going to look at some technicals, we're going to look at some fundamentals, and I'm going to come up with some sort of conclusion as to if I think Kaspa is going to be here for the long run. I'm going to get the help of Grok AI, and then we'll basically just go from there. So like I said, this is FD White. Welcome to the channel. If you've never been over to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe if you find value in this video. So first and foremost, let's go over to the chart. I want to look at Kaspa. I'm on a 4-hour time frame, and we were in this this was a bullish pattern that we were in. Let me actually change this to a solid color, a solid line. We were actually in a bullish structure that I really like. So we had this bottom coming in at about 0.6250%, had a nice run to our local high at about 11% that came in the middle of July, towards the tail end of July, and we were just consolidating. And this is a bull flag. I like this. This is a bull flag, and I said Caspa holders. I said this over in the Telegram. Link will be in the pinned comments if you want to come over to the Telegram. I said, if you are a Caspa bull, you want to watch this level here. This is a bullish consolidation pattern, but we do not want to lose this level here coming in at the bottom side at 0.0728 cent. And, you know, we had the bottom side of our flag, and then we had this upper sloping trend line, which was, if we go on the daily, we can see that this was a bigger pattern, a bigger symmetrical triangle that we have been holding ever since the top, coming in at about 21 to 22%, depending on your exchange. So if we zoom back into the 4-hour and we look at the level that we lost, we really want to reclaim this level quick, very quick. We have a lot of resistance above us. We have, like I said, this downward sloping trend line that was support. Now it is going to probably act as a little bit of resistance. And then, like I said, we have the bottom side of our huge symmetrical triangle on our high time frame coming in around, we'll say somewhere around 7 cents. So 7 cent is our line that we really need to reclaim. I can draw it out for you really quick so you can have a visual. So we want to come back up. I like this move well, I do not like this move that we had over the past few days, but all coins look like this. So we got to take this, excuse me, we got to take this move, we got to take this with a grain of salt. All coins, the bed, you know, Friday night. So we came all the way down to 0.009, almost a penny, bounce back up. And now, like I said, we're sitting at 0.06286. And we want to just do something like this, and we want to do it pretty fast. We will probably have a little bit of resistance here. We want to kind of flag under here, get back above here, and then just, if we can get back into this bigger symmetrical triangle, that would be cool. That would be good, because we didn't break out of this bull flag that we were in on the 4-hour or the hourly, you know, the smaller time frames. But if we can get back in this bigger, let me actually do this so you guys can see it. We'll do it real time, and then we'll go over some fundamentals that I was looking at for Caspa. So we'll change this into a solid line. We'll change this into another solid line. And then you see we have our huge support, which is a very pivotal level, which we'll probably hover around here sometime in the bear market around 3 cent, little under 3 cent. But I don't think it's time to talk about bear markets. I do think, you know, the overall market has a little bit of juice left, and I think Caspa may have a little bit of juice left as well. But like I said, we want to get back in this bigger symmetrical triangle, that bottom side coming in around 0.07 cent, and then we can talk about going a little bit higher for Caspa. So like I said, it's very important that we reclaim this level here at around 7 to a 7.5 cent. And until that happens, is Caspa has really been struggling. We had a huge run up, I think the end of 2023 going into 2024. A lot of people were bullish on Caspa's price action. We got up to, like I said, somewhere around 20, I want to say a quarter maybe. We got up to about 21 cent at the top of our move. Yeah, July 2024. And then we just pretty much been making lower highs. So we want to continue to watch Caspa. It's been fairly weak when it comes to price action. So this is why I wanted to include fundamentals. I wanted to include AI and see if AI can give me a little bit of a edge to see if Kaspa is something worth holding for the future. Price wise, right now, a lot of people who are in the Kaspa community are saying we don't care. We want to accumulate more as the prices go down. This is conviction. The Kaspa community is strong. So we will see. We will see. But if you're in Kaspa and you want the price to appreciate short term, like I said, you want to watch those levels there. Grok. This is what I talked about over on X. I used Grok and I was talking about some fundamentals for Casper because I see a lot of people in the community. They always talk about the transaction speed. They talk about the the decentralization. They talk about a lot of things. So this is like one of the first times I've really started to dive deep into Casper. This is not a super deep dive. This is probably just a basic overview of what's going on, what's happening, the basic overview of Casper and what they have coming up or what they had, some important milestones that they've achieved. So I put in fundamental bullish Casper news and update. So it thought for 2 minutes and 15 seconds. So this was a pretty good well thought out answer from Grok. And it says Casper is a proof of work blockchain using block DAG technology. It continues to show strong fundamental growth in 2025. It focuses on scalability, decentralization, and fair launch principles. And it has driven positive developments, including network upgrades, ecosystem expansions, and increasing adoptions. And below is key bullish updates on recent reports and community discussions. So first and foremost, it says major technical upgrades and milestones. The Crescendo upgrade 10 blocks per second. Kaspa successfully activated its Crescendo mainnet upgrade earlier this year, achieving 10 blocks per second, which is very fast. A massive leap from 1 block per second. This makes it 6,000 times faster than Bitcoin. This is one of the things a lot of Kaspa bulls talk about, why it's better than Bitcoin, why it's the new Bitcoin. Proof of work, it's faster. It seems like it's more decentralized, but we'll talk about that in a second. It says makes it 6,000 times more faster than Bitcoin in transaction speed and 3,600 times faster in confirmation time, positioning Kaspa as one of the fastest proof of work networks. They have further progress towards 32-100 BPS per second. Well, BPS is underway, so they want to achieve 100 transactions per second, basically. So it says number 2, smart contracts and ecosystem expansion. Both EVM compatible and native Kaspa are rolling out with testnets, live and mainnets expected in Q2, Q3 2025. So I'm guessing this already happened. This enables DeFi. I think I've seen this KRC20 tokens, KRC721 NFTs, and on-chain decentralized exchanges. Projects like Casplex, a layer 2, Zealous Swap, and EGRA Labs EVM integration are advancing, allowing interoperability with platforms like OpenSea and MetaMask. So that's just another thing with, talking about the tech, talking about NFTs and decentralized exchanges, which are very popular right now. So it seems like Kaspa is getting in the race with those as well. Dagnite Protocol and Progs. I have no idea what this is. Upcoming in 2026, they will introduce MEV resistant transactions, improve security, and advanced programming capabilities, further solving the blockchain trilemma: scalability, security, and decentralization. So the trilemma in blockchain is you either have scalability and security, you don't have decentralization. You either have decentralization and scalability and security lacks, or you have security and decentralization and the scalability lacks. I don't know if I said that twice, but you get it. You usually don't have all three. You usually have 2 out of the 3, but Kaspa is further trying to solve the blockchain trilemma. And this is another reason why a lot of people think it is better than Bitcoin. I didn't say it, but a lot of people are really bullish on this. And a lot of people think this will stand the test of times. Even if we go into a bear market, price doesn't matter. The fundamentals will take over. And this is what a lot of people are bullish on. Rust node rewrite. Finalization of the Rust-based node software is nearing completion, boosting efficiency and reliability. And then we have supply and economic fundamentals. So it has a high circulating supply and deflationary schedule. Over 90% of Kaspa's total market supply is already mined, which is good, making it less inflationary than Bitcoin soon. So keep your eye out on that. That's another thing. Less inflationary is better. We want to start to get deflationary, and then that's when the price will really start to go up. So the pragmatic emission schedule reduces rewards monthly, aiming for 0 inflation by 2030, increasing scarcity and long-term value if demand grows. So keyword if demand grows, if demand grows, if demand grows. So that's another thing in crypto. We talk about fundamentals. We talk about a lot of people saying altcoins are terrible. Sell altcoins. Do this, do that. Like the technology in some of these, like reading this and knowing what some people talk about. Sometimes some of the technical terms I don't know, but just knowing how some of these altcoins and projects and things like that are going to change the world, are going to change the way we use blockchain and things like that. I think altcoins are here to stay. Altcoins, crypto without altcoins is very bland. We will just say that. I know it's speculation. Everybody's price go up, price go up, price. But blockchain technology is going to be a major factor in the future. And I think technology like this, if this does roll out and play out, can be a very, very, very big upside to humanity. Stable coins and financial integrations. Gigawatt stablecoin MVP testing is progressing via Kia Labs with Warp Core ISO 222 certification and Gigawatt update soon. This could enable real world payments and institutional adoption. That sounds really good. ISO 2022. These are coins like XRP, XLM, HBAR, things like that. It's going to be a lot of compliance, and they're going to be looking for cryptos and projects and blockchains that are going to do that and are ISO 222 compatible, or they have the certification in the future when on payments start to really become a thing on the blockchain. So that is also a good thing. Adoption, listings, and regulatory wins. Exchange listings and mining ties. Speculation around tier one listings. Binance, OKC, Crypto.com, Coinbase continues with Binance mining pool already integrating, boosting visibility. Kaspa was added to CoinMarketCap, made in the USA. That's another one that we got to watch over the next 3 years with the Trump presidency. He's really pushing towards made in the USA everything. So this is a good thing. Aligning with potential U.S. regulatory perks, like we just talked about, under pro-crypto policies, like we just said. Community events, don't really care about the community and the events. Market sentiment, well accumulation, and the recovery. Well, I mean, after market, I really don't. On chain is cool. I really don't look at on chain things for like altcoins. Not really. I look at it for Bitcoin, sometimes Ethereum, but for the most part, I'm really not looking at how whales accumulate. I think in a blink of an eye, people could just start pouring in. If fundamentals meet technicals, meet timing, people will just start pouring in. So sometimes the on-chain indicators are off. Well, not off, but they don't really tell me too much. Crypto moves fast. The technology is moving fast, so I would expect that to continue for Kaspa. Price bounces and predictions. Well, we already talked about that, but some people are saying Kaspa has bounced from key supports at 0.07. We just talked about that with analysts noting accumulation phases. It's gonna be, we got to get back above this level here. This is what we just talked about when we talked about the technicals earlier in the video. Price forecast from the 0.0, basically 9 cents to 35 cent on the high end. I don't see that. Maybe it's crypto. Anything is possible. Maybe we get some news. Maybe the market just starts to get extra frothy. Maybe who knows? But I do think as the overall market appreciates, as crypto, as Bitcoin goes up, not saying this cycle, maybe next cycle, if Kaspa can continue to be around, I think it will reach some of those numbers. And if it does all this, it has to, it has to stand the test of time. It has to appreciate. Well, it doesn't have to appreciate, but I think it will. Network speed, so it has 10 per second, aiming for 100. 90% of the circulation supply. Deflationary emissions, increases scarcity, supports price depreciation with demand. We talked about that. Oh, and it handles thousands of transactions per second, rivals credit cards for real world use. This is what we talked about. We skipped that, but we coming back to this, the 10 transactions per second, trying to get to 100, it rivals credit cards in real world use. So once the blockchain does become more standard, more prominent in our everyday use when it comes to transacting, this is going to come in very, very, very important. It's going to become very important. Smart contracts, DeFi, stablecoins, it attracts developers, users, niche for fast proof of work, adoption, institutional inflows, broader market access, sentiment, high coin market cap bullishness, whale buys. That really doesn't mean anything for me. And then I also asked, do you think Kaspa will last for 5 years? It says, based on the latest analysis, price forecast, and community discussions as of October 2025, I do think Kaspa has a solid shot at lasting and potentially thriving over the next 5 years. With that said, crypto is volatile, not financial advice, all the disclaimers, the crypto disclaimers, blah, blah, blah. Strong fundamental. We talked about Kaspa's core tech. It's block DAG structure, enabling 10 blocks per second, which is aiming for 100. Upcoming upgrades, EVM compatible and native. DAG night and MEV resistance. All the other stuff is deflationary emission schedule. Reward having smoothly nearing zero inflation by 2030 adds scarcity, which could drive value if adoption grows. That's key. We had the recent milestones, and it says from a market perspective, Kaspa has shown resilience and hit the $5 billion market cap peak in 2024, which we looked at a little bit earlier. And even after an 80% drawdown against Bitcoin, is consolidating around 2 billion. It's the first real bear market since launch in 2021. So it's been out since 2021. It has 4 years under his belt around there. So I think it'll last. I think just reading all that, not going too heavy, not going into too much of a deep dive. From what I understand, that sounds amazing. Kaspa does sound amazing, to be completely honest with you. If it can complete all those transactions per second, it's the ISO 222 compliant. Just a lot of things that I like. And it's proof of work, which helps with the security, and I like it. I actually like it. This is my first time reading it. I just did that, overviewed it really quick, and now you're seeing my reaction in real time. So we'll do a little bit more deep diving. I own no Kaspa right now, but maybe that will change. Maybe if we start to, maybe this is a good time to accumulate and hold, for a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see what my overall scope of the market is going into the tail end of the year, going into 2026, and we'll see if we go into a bear market, we can get them a little bit cheaper. So year-end predictions, high-end predictions, it says 2025, low-end 4 cent, high-end 250 to 612. I don't even see that. 22 cent, I can see something like that. 2026, maybe 30 cent, low of 5 cent. Just depends. Just depends on the overall market. Depends on how bad. Altcoins haven't been able to hold a bid, especially against Bitcoin. And so these, I really don't like price predictions because, anything can happen in the market. And I think Bitcoin has proven itself to be the king. So a lot of altcoins haven't been, even with all these amazing fundamentals, altcoins haven't been able to hold a bid against Bitcoin. And it's been tough. It's been a tough market for all altcoins, not just Kaspa. So like I said, the fundamentals sound amazing. The tech sounds amazing. I think it might have a future. To be honest with you, this is the first time I'm really kind of learning about Kaspa. So this is just probably step one of me going down a Kaspa rabbit hole. So if you have anything else to add about Kaspa, make sure you put it in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe. I'll do some more Kaspa videos if you like. It sounds very interesting. So thank you to the community for putting this on my radar. I was always hip to Kaspa when it comes to price appreciation. I mean, the prices, the technicals. I really didn't dive into the fundamentals. So everybody who pointed me over to Kaspa and told me to look into it, thank you. I'll do a little bit more due diligence, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So this is FD White. Thank you for watching. If you found value, please make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.